Hi, I'm David Foster, and this kind of was my idea. I have been on Josh's website so many times, and I've loved reading everything. I'm telling you, you guys are absolutely amazing, and I'm not kidding. And I love reading things like, oh, well, that couldn't have been David Foster writing in because he's far too busy. But how could I be too busy to not check what's going on with the fans? Because believe me, and I'm not just stroking you guys, you have made the difference. You have kicked this thing off in a way that I have hardly ever experienced in my life before, and I'm not kidding. So then I went to Robin at Warner Brothers, who runs the website, and I said, we want to do something special just for the website that nobody else would see. Now, we were here earlier doing an Entertainment Tonight interview, and so it's basically the same setup that you're getting, but it's only going to the website. And I mean, I can't tell you how much we appreciate everything that you've done. Without you guys, this album would have not been where it is in any way, shape, or form. So I love it. It was me that went on Jeannie's site, by the way. I used my own name. I misspelled. I said Grobonites instead of Groban or whatever the hell it is. I'm sorry. I never checked my spelling. I never put capital letters, but it was me. But just keep up the work, and I'm going to go on as Josh producer from now on the regular site, and I want to stay in touch. It's exciting. I mean, I'm invigorated. But you're not here to see me. You are here to see the one and only Josh Groban. Bin. And here he is.
Here it is. Hey, everybody.
Welcome to my website.
Thank you so much. Yeah, you guys have turned David into an internet fanatic, which is very hard to do. So I thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for everything that you've done. And he's right, this album is just taking off because of you guys. And David will be coming on a lot and talking to you guys, and I hope to be on soon. Also,
yeah, more than you've been on.
More than I've been. I apologize.
But you've been in Europe.
I've been in Europe, and I've been doing a lot. But I love chatting with you guys. I love letting you guys know what's going on, and I hope to do that a lot more.
It's really amazing that you know, the .com thing kind of just nosedived. I know I have, you know, tonus.com, and we've been struggling and all that. But as it nosedived, this is what the end result is, that you can actually really break an artist with the internet, and that's what's happened with you.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a place to go when people want to find out about an artist, and it's a place to go when they want to listen to music, and they can't necessarily get to the store right away. And you guys have totally taken advantage of that.
And they've become friends with each other.
Right.
It was such a great group of people you are there, and I think like you talked about having the thing in Florida where there's about 34 of you, and you guys should organize that. And if you have one in Los Angeles, I will make sure I drag Josh Groban there, and we will both come. So organize these in the States. You will make the difference, and I am really not kidding. So thank you. And now we have
some questions from you, all of you out there.
Right. And this is the first question here, Josh. And I know you've told the story before, but for internet fans only,
okay.
How did you end up on Ally McBeal?
Well, it's a great question, because it was an amazing event that caused it. And I did a show in Los Angeles called A Family Celebration, and Bill Clinton was there, and the cast of Ally McBeal was there, and just lots of important people. And I was on an amazing lineup of amazing performers, so I was really, really nervous. But David E. Kelley was in the audience, and I sang a song called The Prayer with a good friend of mine, Nita Whitaker. And David E. Kelley saw the song and said, hey, we want you to be on the show. And that's kind of how a lot of things have gone lately.
And to his credit, and David Kelley looked at Josh singing The Prayer, and in his mind went, I think that kid can act. And he was right, of course, but that's his genius.
I tried very hard at that, and it went really well. Yeah, the cast was so amazingly talented, and the director was so nice and so helpful. They really kind of helped me get where I needed to be.
What was your opening line when you met Ally? Give it to me. Okay, next question.
I think it was...
Yeah, right. Trip. Everybody knows that you are an internet junkie.
Do they?
Well, don't do that. God dang. What are some of your favorite sites you like to visit to? You know, music, or any site, but music sites.
Yeah, well, I think I've gotten a lot of people, I think, on the site interested in the site that I go to called The Onion. It's really, really cool. Yeah. It's really funny. These guys, they do this parody newspaper, and they make fun of the news, and they make fun of lots of great things. That's definitely a good site to go to.
In fact, somebody wrote in and saying, you know, that they did a whole page on what the surprise was that we were cooking up, a la The Onion. And again, if I didn't apologize earlier, I'm sorry that, I mean, I think this is an incredible surprise, but, you know, you people talked about, like, free Cadillacs and stuff. No, it's not free Cadillacs.
Sorry.
It's Josh, live, only for the website, which I think is very cool. You don't even own a Cadillac.
I don't
you
even
drive
own a Cadillac.
Pathfinder.
I have whatever.
Right? Is that what you
I drive
drive?
a Ford Explorer.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's not bad.
Ford's good.
I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask about, yeah, I know the answer to this, but tell everybody else.
Okay.
Your musical taste is so broad. I know that you're at home at night listening to Motorhead and all sorts of weird, crazy stuff, Radiohead and Depeche Mode and all that, but where does the gamut run?
Well, I mean, it all started, my parents kind of introduced me to a lot of music, and I don't know. I don't listen to radio to figure out what CDs I'm going to buy. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I hear a great song and I want to get it. But I like world music a whole lot, and it kind of all started when I listened to Paul Simon doing Graceland and things like that, and listening to African rhythms. And I like this band called Afro Celt Sound System a whole lot. They're really kind of techno, Irish, Afro beats and funks and grooves and all that. Anyway, it runs completely wide. It's all over the place.
You do listen to the Beatles, don't you?
Of course I listen to the
Thank
Beatles,
you.
yeah.
Okay. You were 17 when I first met you, and we were doing the Grammys, The Prayer, the song that Carol Bayer Sager and I wrote for Celine and Bocelli. He didn't make the rehearsal,
Right.
and you got the call.
Yeah.
Now, you're 17, you're on the stage of the Grammys.
Yeah.
It's got to be a pretty cool feeling.
It was a very cool feeling. I was freaking out. I think originally I told you, the whole story is I said, I don't think I can do this. I called you up and I said, this is way beyond my reach. I was just some kid in high school, and David really said, go do it. Celine will be really nice. Rosie will be there. No one will bug you. It'll be great. And he pushed me to do that. And
how great was Celine?
Celine was incredible.
Yeah.
I was so...
And she loved you and your singing, of course.
Well, the feeling was definitely mutual.
Yeah.
It was great because when you're just a nobody and you're told you're going to sing with Celine Dion, you think they're going to be a big diva and they're going to say get me someone else, But she was really cool, and it was a great time, and it was a day that changed my life.
Yeah, that's right. And for the website's only been up for 3 or 4 months, but we've been kind of going at it for 3 years almost, since Josh was 17.
Yeah, we spent a long time. Not just making the album, but just getting to know each other and getting to know what kind of music we wanted to do.
Right.
And we've been working together for a really long time. And just
is
me, because
so
we
it's going
can't
to be
use her voice, because that's the song that we did, and we're holding on to it right now. But
it's coming out.
It's coming out.
Yeah, I hear she's going to do a duets album, and later on this year, and this will be, of course, one of the 2 new duets.
It may happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in the meantime, we've got some cool stuff that it's all great, but for whatever reason, certain stuff couldn't make this CD. So
you met Barbra Streisand when you were sitting right there.
I was sitting right in that seat right there.
What was that like?
I walked in, I heard her voice outside the studio, and I'm thinking, oh, they're playing a Barbra CD. That's really cool. I walk in, and she's got a microphone in front of her on the couch, and she's rehearsing this song. And you take a double take, like, it's Barbra Streisand. All right. And I just kind of sat there looking, and to my surprise, I totally thought she would be like, get out, I'm rehearsing. She turned to me and she goes, you must be Josh. Oh.
And then she said,
please.
Get out.
Yeah, then she said, get out. She said, my throat is acting up. What do you do to? She was asking me what I do to work on my voice, as if
I listen to Barbra Streisand records.
I listen to you, exactly. Yeah, no, it was really cool to meet her, and we had a nice dinner that night. It was really great.
Yeah, it was great, and she also loved your singing. Here's a question that somebody wrote in. I think this is really an interesting question, which I don't personally care about the answer, but I know a lot of people would. What do you think about when you go to sleep? Before you go to sleep?
Before I go to sleep, I have trouble. This
is so much fun. This is going to be the best interview you've ever done, because we can do whatever we want.
We just came from a Entertainment Tonight interview that was
so
I can't
stiff.
say it. Everybody's so stiff, and everybody's so...
Yeah. So we got fans here. You guys can yell and scream. You are cheerleading. That's, we have friends here. We have Rob and we have John here from Warner Brothers.
Yes.
We have friends, Amanda and other friends.
Yes.
You can do whatever the heck you want to do. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
By the way, this is the studio where we recorded the whole album. This studio is in my home. Settle down, girls.
Yeah.
This is at my house in Los Angeles, and this is where we did the album. So anyway, what the hell do you think about?
I have a hard time falling asleep, actually, because I think about the things that I have to do the next day, and there's usually, unless I have a day off, which is very rare, I've got a lot of things to conquer in the next day. So I usually have to, watch TV or read or something and kind of do some mindless activity to get myself to sleep. But yeah, I think about music. I listen to music before I go to sleep. I think about all sorts of things.
Here's a question for you. What are you going to be doing this Valentine's Day?
What am I going to be doing for Valentine's Day? That's a great question, and I want to bring something up. We have done these great online Valentines. They're really cool, and we got this animator to do these wacky designs, and they drew me, and I think it's really, really interesting. And so yeah, we're going to have those, and we're going to be sending those out, and hopefully you guys will be able to get some, and they'll give you a link on them to the website. You can send like online Valentines to everybody else, and you can listen to the music, and I think that your sweethearts will be very, very happy when they receive a Josh Groban Valentine.
It's a family. Excuse me, Renee. It's a family affair. This is Mr. Brian.
This is Brian Abnett. This is my manager.
Josh's manager, who's doing an unbelievably mediocre
job.
No, an incredible job. And he's my friend for 25 years, and he and Josh are like that. If you want Josh to do anything, call Brian.
Call David.
Yeah. I think of Brian before I go to sleep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Whoa, that's kind of scary.
That's not true.
So you went down to Virgin and Tower and saw your own display, didn't you? You egomaniac.
I did.
How'd that feel?
I've been down to Virgin Megastore a couple of times, actually. I went down midnight when the CD came out. I came out and I came down with a bunch of friends, and we all said, they all went up to the counter and we were like, "Do you have the Josh Groban CD?" And they didn't really know who I was, but they did.
No, they didn't really. They didn't know.
They didn't know who I was at all. And so they got a box of them and they brought them up, and they did have it, so they all bought one, and that was fun. But yeah, since then, like, they've been putting like displays up and the thing, and I never get. It's so new to me right now, this whole banner thing. I get freaked out every time I see a banner of myself in a music store. So yeah, whenever we're like out to lunch or something and we see a Virgin Megastore, we always go in and we're just like, oh, there it is, and we walk in.
I just thought of a question, because on the fan site, they always talk about what a nice guy you are and how humble you are, which I can attest to. It's absolutely true. And we've had many, many long conversations about how humble he is, how nice he is, and how he's going to stay that way. Yeah. And I know your fans talk about that a lot. And I mean, there's a couple of reasons why I believe we talked about it, the press thing and your family. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Well,
but and we'll beat you if you don't.
Yeah, I will be beaten severely if I don't. Yeah, no, we've had lots of talks, and when you're working with someone like David, we're all perfectionists, and we all want to make the best music possible and the best album possible. And this whole, releasing a CD thing is really cool, and it's really new, and it's really frightening. And as much praise as you get every day, you've also got 100 things that you have to do better every day. So everything keeps you grounded. My family's great. My family is really kind of.
Your mom, your brother.
My mom. I've got a mom. I've got my mom. I've got my younger brother.
Chris.
And Chris, and my dad, and they're all just great. And whenever I get
and Uncle Brian.
And Uncle Brian.
Uh-huh.
My manager, yes. But who's not really my uncle.
Not that you know of.
Not that you know of.
How do you know?
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I've got.
It's important stuff.
It's definitely important, and I think if I ever get to a certain point where it looks like I'm getting a little too caught up in myself, I'm sure the fans will notice and they'll post in.
Yeah. We'll cut your throat out. No.
Out with a spoon.
With a spoon.
With a spoon.
No, because it's important, because these fans are going to be with you for life. I mean, they've become friends with each other, and they love your music. And I mean, they truly love what you do, and it's great to see that kind of real appreciation.
I love them. I mean, the community that they've made on this website is really amazing. I mean, I'm just amazed at how.
Okay, Josh will visit all 50 states. Just set it up in the city of the state. He'll be there, all 50 states. You have to send the jet, though. We won't.
Exactly.
We can't do that.
Exactly.
Here's a good question.
Okay.
Where do you picture yourself 10 years from now? I won't do 20 and 30.
Sure. Well, 10 years is even. I hope in 10 years to have at least 5 or 6 albums completed.
Who will be producing those albums? No wonder.
Gee.
I can just see it on
I
album
wonder.
3, right? I'll get the call. David, yeah, Josh. You know, I'm going a different direction on this album. Okay, go ahead. It's okay. Sorry to cut you off.
Um, no, I hope to be still working with David. That's for sure. I hope to have the same team around me. I hope to have the same fans with me in 10 years. I hope to kind of expand musically and try some different things, and not to go too far off from what we're doing, but try some interesting things. Like I said, I love world music.
You play drums
I
really
play drums.
well.
I play drums.
Yeah.
I've been playing drums for like 5 or 6 years, so maybe I'll drum a little bit on some CDs. Maybe I'll play a little piano. We'll see. But yeah, 10 years down the road, I'm worried about what I'm going to do tomorrow. So, yeah, I'm gonna.
It's interesting that you talked about the team. Celine, I think to me, Celine Dion's career is one of the most flawlessly handled careers. It's just perfect. You know, it was the slow climb, and then just when she was getting overexposed, she ducked out for 2 or 3 years. But she also has kept, for the most part, the same team around her. I mean, I've been with her for 13 years, not as the only producer, but she keeps going back to the genesis of what it was, and I think that you'll be wise to do that.
Definitely.
Plug. Hello, Josh. This is David. How'd you get this number?
Oh, man.
Okay, here's a question that I have a little trouble asking you, okay? But I'm just going to quote from at least 30 or 40 fans. You ready?
Okay.
Will you marry me?
Ah, David.
Not me.
I've been waiting.
I'm quoting.
Okay.
What do you think? What about marriage? I mean, you're very young. I mean,
I'm very young. I'm 20 years old, and marriage is not something I'm looking at for quite a long time. However, I've been very, very flattered to get these questions. We've gotten, like, what did you say, 40 people at least have asked me, probably somewhat jokingly, to marry them. I
don't think they're joking.
Oh, well.
But you're too young. I would never
I'm too young.
let that happen.
And but you know, I'll be on the message board quite a bit, so we might get to know each other, and perhaps marriage is in the future for us. I mean, you never know. I mean,
you never know. I met my wife on the internet. No,
you guys like me, and you never know.
All right, another crazy question.
Keep asking.
Another crazy. This is fun. Is this fun or
this
what?
This is lots of fun.
We have no rules here. It's
I
so
know.
great. The most memorable thing that woke you up in the middle of the night.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell me what it was.
No, I wasn't there, Josh, hopefully.
Most memorable thing that woke me up in the middle of the night. Oh, gosh. Nothing's woken me. I never go to bed past before midnight, so nothing's woken me up in the middle of the night. I'll tell you one thing. I woke up, and this is quite on a serious note, on the morning of September 11th, I woke up with the worst, I felt the worst I've ever felt in my entire life. I had eaten something the night before. I had the worst heartburn ever. I had a terrible headache. I woke up, I never sleep late. I always sleep late. I always sleep till at least like 11 or 12, and I got up at like 7:30, 8 in the morning just saying, I have to go down and get something. I went down and turned on the TV, and that was probably the most shocking and horrific thing I've ever woken up to.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
A lot of people woke up to that.
Truly is probably the most shocking thing that's happened in this century, almost. So, you know, you've experienced, it's the most shocking thing for you as a 20-year-old, it's the most shocking thing for me as a 50-year-old. It's just, that's not even possible to put it into the right words. But, you know, hopefully we're on the right path now.
Definitely.
And you're certainly doing the right music to heal.
I hope so. I mean, people always look to music, I think, to heal and to feel better about their surroundings and what's going on. And you know, it certainly wasn't. It was our intention to a certain degree, you know, to evoke that in people. But even now, I think music holds a special meaning, and I think it's great if anybody finds comfort.
I was hoping that my wife Linda could be down here, but she's gone. But she wrote the lyrics to "You're Still You" and "To Where You Are," which are two of the songs that are getting a lot of attention on the album. And the lyric to Where You Are, which she wrote pre 9/11 with our friend Richard Marx, is just a stunning statement, I think.
Yeah, it's an amazing statement, and it holds such special meaning now. And that was one of the great things also about Ally McBeal, is that David Kelly kind of wrote that story around those events. And I know a lot of you who wrote in said that you got a lot from that, and I'm glad
it helped. Yeah.
It helped a lot.
And you know, it is kind of a family affair. There's a couple of friends of Josh's that worked on the album, and everybody's become a big family with Bill Ross, the arranger, and Jeremy Lubbock, who did some of the stuff. My daughter Amy wrote the lyrics to "Home to Stay." I wanted her to be here today too, because but we'll do that maybe another time.
Sure, yeah.
I know it takes a long time to download this stuff for some people, so we're just going to go through a couple of more email questions, and then let's play a little of the music that didn't make the album. Not because it wasn't good, but it just didn't fit for whatever reason. Okay?
Exactly.
I'm going to show you kind of what we're working on.
Sure.
So, somebody writes, I think we covered that. We covered where did the song come from, the Ally McBeal song. Have you ever been in any Broadway or West End productions?
That's a really good question, because I know a lot of people have written in saying, you remind me of Michael Crawford, you remind me of so-and-so Broadway.
Yeah, that was
performer.
another question here.
Yeah, right. Broadway was kind of one of my very, very first goals. I studied musical theater at Carnegie Mellon University, which is a great institution, and I went to LA County High School for the Arts for drama and things like that, and that's kind of where I wanted to go for a large part of my life. I have not been on Broadway. I have not been in any West End productions. The only theater I've done has been high school stuff, and I kind of knew it was a sign of things to come when I had to leave one of my rehearsals to go and
do an event,
to the Grammys, actually,
yeah.
so the rehearsal. So yeah, I mean, this, you never know which way your life is going to lead and which path you're going to take, and this is one that this was kind of a new dream for me and a new goal that I never thought I could reach, but we got there, and hopefully one day I will do the right thing on Broadway and do something down the road.
Mm-hmm. Somebody else writes.
I also want to say that David is writing an amazing musical called Scream.
Right.
That is hopefully on its way to Broadway.
Oh, we hope.
And hopefully you guys will be hearing it.
By the time he gets there, you will be an old man.
I will be an old man.
The way it's going, but
no, but he wrote
it's a hard
amazing
process.
music. Yeah, it's a really hard process doing theater,
Yeah.
and for someone, we've spent this whole time in the studio, so.
This is a really important question. I know the answer to this too, but don't know quite how to answer it, so you should.
Okay.
Will you tour?
Will I tour? Very good question, and yes, I mean, well, I would definitely tour because I can't wait to perform these songs live around the country and around the world. We're not quite sure when that's going to happen yet. We're looking at possibly spring, and as I travel to do different events and different TV shows, I'm sure I'll be stopping in your neck of the woods, but we'll see. We'll definitely see.
It's actually maybe some of the fans they are fans. I'm a fan too. Could write in and talk to us about this because we're a little bit torn about the touring thing because we both kind of are on the same page, but maybe a little bit different. I think that Josh should not, although I love orchestra and I love symphony, and his album certainly displays a lot of that, but I think it should be elevated a little. I think that there should be some symphony there, and whenever possible, of course, but also we love the idea of a young rhythm section and just kind of taking it up a notch so that you like in a Bocelli concert, for instance, you can talk pleasantly like this when the loudest point is playing.
Right.
I think we're going to be a little more rock and roll in that, I think.
You're going to have to scream, like the musical.
Yeah, right. No, but I mean, am I right? I mean, I think you're going to, I want you to play some drums.
Yeah.
It's going to be your show,
the reason we're kind of deciding when we're going to do a tour and what kind of tour we're going to do is that we want to make a show that's really, really special, and we want to make a show that is worthwhile for you guys to come and see, that's really different from anything that you've seen. And we don't want to make it completely, like you said, orchestra and singer. We want to really kind of.
We want to rock.
We want to somewhat.
Yeah.
We want to mix it up, and we want to have different musicians on stage and really kind of experiment like we did on the album, on tour, and kind of come up with a show that's pretty unique. So.
Well, let us know what you think.
Like the album, it'll take a little while to figure out, but we will do it.
What is You're Still You about, the lyrics?
You're Still You it has so many meanings, and I think a lot of you guys out there got the meaning of it. It's, of course, it was used in Ally McBeal to represent lots of things. One, the character of Ally, she was at a time in her life, that character where she was feeling out of touch with a lot of things, and the song kind of reminded her of who she was. And it's just a song that kind of reminds everybody of who they really are, and it makes you think, hopefully, about what kind of things are important to you. And even people who are kind of down and out of luck. I mean, the song is, generally speaking, about someone who's...
But it was written for the movie.
It was written for the movie Milena.
Yeah.
And it was kind of written as a boy who falls in love with...
a discarded woman.
A discarded woman.
Right.
Saying, even though the community is kind of pushing you out of their sight, I still think you're the most amazing person ever, and to me, in my eyes, you're still you. So yeah,
exactly.
I think everybody's got something in their lives.
Well, look, I think we've about covered this. Did you have a couple of questions for me, or?
Yes, I do, from fans.
Ah.
Yes.
How are we doing, by the way, guys? You can talk. You can speak. It's loose. It's a party. But I mean, are we able to download all this? Could you download a 20
You
minute?
can stream as long as you want.
Really? So you're just going to go? Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
It's not. They don't have to put it actually on their hard drive.
Oh, great.
Let me just 1 second, real quick. Oops. Which ones do you think would be good?
Just hit a couple.
Okay.
But don't block my face with the...
I know.
Which questions did I ask?
Yeah, right.
Sorry.
Oh, I love that somebody wrote and said that I should have shaved before the Larry King show. That was kind of good.
Oh, yeah. Right. Okay. Someone said, there's kind of two questions here that are kind of the same. What is it like producing someone young with that kind of voice?
Mm-hmm.
And kind of the same question, how is working with someone like myself different than working with a vocalist such as Celine Dion or a pop female singer?
I was just thinking
Or is
about
it the same?
No, I was just thinking about Celine because I've actually had pretty much a career of working with women.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah.
You know, Celine and Whitney Houston and Natalie Cole and Toni Braxton and Monica and
Name a few,
yeah, and guys. Well, Chicago was
Chicago.
Peter Cetera, a great singer, and Michael Bolton I worked with.
Michael Bolton and Michael Jackson a couple times.
Yeah, but I will confess something that, to me, this, of course, it's totally Josh's album, but when I'm doing a vocal, whether it's with Josh or Celine, whoever, and they're in the vocal booth and I'm here comping the vocal, I am the singer. Have we ever talked about this?
Oh,
before?
yeah, absolutely.
Because they sing it 8 times, they sing it 8 different ways, and I get to pick which of those 8 ways I want on any given word, line, phrase, or whatever. And with somebody like Josh or Celine, of course, they can sing the song down once, and it's near flawless. But then that extra 10% requires 7 more takes,
right,
so that I can piece together little things when I'm not really happy. But I, in my mind, truly become the singer. So sometimes in Josh's album, I actually think I'm the singer, which is really kind of sick and twisted and demented, but that's
Well,
the
it's
process.
like a director who looks at the screen and sees themselves as the characters.
Exactly.
They know exactly
Yeah.
what they want, and they do it over until the man gets it.
And to answer your question about Josh, I love working with Josh for a ton of reasons, but one of my favorite reasons is that I can ask him to sing a lick, and he'll sing the lick back to me. I don't have the voice. I have it up here, but I don't have it in the voice. And he can, like Celine, sing exactly back what I want to hear, which just makes for, you know,
I try.
great. It's a great process. We work very, very well together, and I suspect on his next album he'll have a lot more input than he did on his first album, because he was just finding his way on his first album.
This was all so new, and I was working with so many amazing people. It's been one of the best learning experiences of my entire life. A lot of people ask, what was it like to leave college to do this? And it was a great sacrifice, but I knew as soon as we started working that this was going to be a learning experience like no other. And I've learned a lot, and hopefully I'll have some more to put on the next CD.
There's a ton of things coming up for Josh. It's just like the phone's ringing off the hook, and it becomes a matter of what you say yes and no to at some point, and your no's become as important as your yeses, and that's kind of the elevated status that he's hitting right now.
Things are very exciting. We've got a lot of great things coming up, and including some things that we know about. We're definitely going to do
The Olympics.
the Olympics in February, and
That's only a couple of billion people, though, so I wouldn't worry
only a
about
couple
that.
billion.
And it's freezing cold, and
and
you're going to have to
freezing
sing.
cold. It's going to be one of the harder ones, but it's freezing cold inside TV studios too. People don't realize when they go inside a TV studio, it is so cold and the air is so thin. It's the worst environment for singers.
Wow.
And so yeah, but we've got a lot of TV shows coming up. We've got Leno coming up very soon. We've got Rosie O'Donnell coming up sometime in the future.
When is this going to stream, Robin? Tomorrow?
So
Next week? They can't wait till next week.
So,
get right on it.
Okay.
so you guys have already seen Leno, and yeah.
Oh, that was professional, Josh.
You guys have seen Jay Leno.
We're going to close by just playing a couple of tidbits from, just snippets from 2 or 3 songs that did not make the album. And Josh, is there anything in closing that you would... Well, actually, let's play the music first, and...
Yeah, here's some...
Neil! Sorry.
Another
Neil! Thank you.
You guys want to pause for a second?
Sure.
So I'm close now because we have to talk into the same mic, because now we want to take a feed from the board, play you a couple of things that didn't make the album, just a few little snippets for no reason other than maybe they'll, I don't know, they'll have a future.
Yeah. Maybe. These are great songs, and we're very, very proud of them. But like I said, for whatever reason, they didn't make it on the CD. And just for you guys, we thought we'd play just a little snippet of what those would sound like.
Check it out.
We were thinking of doing Caruso, but we didn't want to do anything that we've done so many times. So this is a little song.
Cose diventa tutto piccolo, anche le notti là in America. Ti volti e vedi la tua vita, come le scie di un'elfa. Ma sia la vita che finisce, ma lui non ci pensò poi tanto. Anzi, si sentiva già felice e ricominciò il suo canto.
It's a little wordy, isn't it?
Little wordy, yeah. That was a mouthful.
Go to the market, get all your groceries.
Exactly, and come back. Yeah, exactly.
By the way, that's Neil behind us. He worked on the whole album too. That's Neil DeVore right there.
He's our production coordinator.
Yeah.
Right? Something like that.
What do you got next there? This is Mia per Sempre that we didn't go on the album, right?
We did another Italian piece called Mia per Sempre.
I love this song.
This is a great song, and we had so many Italian songs in the CD. We just thought let's leave this one off for now.
Sei mia per sempre, tu che lo sai, come ero ieri, tu che mi volevi già, sei mia per sempre.
We thought it sounded a little bit like a and now Whoopi Goldberg. So yeah, we got way into it.
Ti cerchi per te sono qua.
And now the Josh Groban Barbra Streisand duet in its entirety. Hit it, Neil. She'd kill us. Look, this has been a real lot of fun. Do you have a final message for the fans?
Well, this is just a big thank you to all of you guys. I mean, honestly, you guys have been amazing, and I'm so proud. We're both proud to have fans like you guys and to have people so dedicated and so into the music and so into what we've been trying to do for the last couple of years. And just thank you and keep it up, and hopefully we'll be able to keep you informed on everything. And thanks for liking the beanie.
Does it come off or it stays?
No, once it's on, it never comes off.
Okay. Like life. See you
Like
later.
life. Bye.